Okay. If you're watching this right now, what is going on, guys? Your boy, B-Dub from B-Dub TV on YouTube. If you're watching this on Omlet Arcade, that's cool too. But we're going to continue this American tour. We're currently in Atlanta. We came from Orlando yesterday. And you see we got a very tad bit of traffic. Looks like we got a A320 coming in right now. And probably and we have a something big. I don't know what that is. 747, I figured. Over there. But without further ado, we're headed to Charleston, South Carolina today. Not one of the larger airports. See, I got the waypoint just on the airport. It's not lined up with the ILS cone, but once we get to about this point, we'll take control of it using our own heading without the nav on. We're gonna be landing at runway 15 in Charleston, and I might make this a double episode. I might, considering it's kind of short, pretty short, I'm gonna probably go from Charleston to Raleigh, and we're gonna pick the length up some. We're gonna go from Raleigh to DC, and then DC to New York. So not very far flights in New York to Boston. Not very far. Not very far flights to start off the series. And once you start heading west, you'll see that distance start to pick up. Feel free to comment on my videos. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, like my channel, whatever. And we're going to announce our taxi over to runway 09 left, considering these other KLM 747, one of my all-time favorites. But considering the fact that these other runways are technically closed, even though in one of the other two videos I had landed on them anyway. I'm going to go with flaps 5 to be straight. We're going to cut the volume up some. I found that I could turn the volume up a little bit louder. And we're about to start our pushback. We are in the Southwest 2014 livery, the 737-7. Very sleek looking livery, nonetheless. Pretty cool looking. Everyone knows Southwest for their colors on their planes. But if you've never flown Southwest, highly recommend it. It's the best airline I've ever flown on. Honestly, it's crazy. And I gotta stop pushback, and even though there aren't really any real technical difficulties on Infinite Flight, we're still gonna check out our straight. Alright, so everything seems pretty good, obviously. And so there's a little bit of traffic here. A320 is landing on runway 28, the lonesome runway out there in Atlanta. I've never actually seen I've been to Atlanta plenty of times in real life. I've actually never seen runway 28, probably because it's a little more isolated, probably more for smaller uh, aircraft, which is very understandable. This is a very short flight, so we're probably gonna keep it at about 28,000 feet for cruising. And my subscription does run out today. It hasn't ran out yet, um, but I will get another one immediately, like right then, whenever it does run out. Probably should have been cut over here. Probably gonna make this a double flight episode. I'll change the title once the video is over. We're gonna go from Charleston to Raleigh. And like I said before, going along the East Coast, I want to try to get as many states as possible in this video. I just wish they had, it's very scenic. Infinite Flight is very scenic. I really, really wish they had buildings, even though I know, cell phone GPUs probably can't handle that. But that would be really, really good. Considering they have the whole freaking Earth and all its airports on this sim. That is incredible in the first place. Alright, so we do have a little bit of traffic here in Atlanta. We're on casual. We're not on expert just because of that little mishap I had the other day. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that guy took off from the runway or he did a touch and go. And we're gonna announce our okay. So that's weird. Okay. We're still gonna do it. I don't care. Yeah, so it said the other runways were closed just a second ago. But now all of a sudden they're not closed. Maybe that's just something I'm not aware of how to work or something. Because, honestly, I don't know why I didn't think of this, but, planes never take off down the side of these runways anyway. Every time I took off, I was taking off from 27 and 28 or 26. Sorry. All right. So landing lights, takeoff lights rather in this case. Alright, give it some gas. And we're off. Do have a positive rate on here. And if you look off to the left there, that looks like Stone Mountain. If you know anything about Georgia, Stone Mountain is one of its landmarks. I think that's Stone Mountain, I don't know. Still doing all this by hand, by the way. We have activated the autopilot just because we were going up at a steep rate. But it seems to be handling it well. It seems to be handling it pretty well. We're almost at 10,000 feet already. We're going to kill those seagulls, so we're going to put those flaps all the way up. And we still don't have the nav on. Once we hit this this waypoint up here, we're going to cut the nav on. Does look like we have a tailwind. Pretty good one, too. Really good one. actually going to bring it down just because of the tailwind that we have. And you do see the little bit of traffic down here in the Georgia South Carolina border, the Georgia South Carolina area. Really, this is about. Um, this guy most likely is going to Atlanta. I can almost bet you. Oh no, he's not. But I just like looking at other guys' flight plans just to see what they're up to, see how far they've flown or how far they're flying. I have no idea where he's going, but it just looks like it's far. In fact, it turns out just a little bit more. But yeah, this is my first time actually flying to a location in South Carolina on the sim. Um, and I figured Charleston or Florence would be the best place to fly, especially with a Southwest airplane. And Charleston doubles as an Air Force base and an airport. It's something pretty cool. I've been to Charleston a couple of times. It's a pretty cool place. You see a little chirp. We got some strong. I don't know if there's a thunderstorm somewhere in there, but it's pretty strong right now. I wish there were. Look at that, 616 mile. Oh my God, 616 ground speed. That's fast. 616 knots ground speed. That's. I don't think I've ever gone. And the crazy thing is, I'm not even gassing it right now. You know, when I'm flying west, we're gonna cut those seatbelts on because of the turbulence, but I'm usually gassing it when I'm heading west just because of the nose wind, headwind, whatever you want to call it. I'm gassing it the whole way there to wherever I'm going. But this tailwind is pretty strong. Now I will be once I get here. I'm probably gonna double this episode up. I'm probably gonna. Matter of fact, I might just. I'm going from here to Raleigh, Durham. It's a nice little flight. Streaming it on YouTube right now, but I think we might have to get Omlet Arcade to go. Streaming it actually on Omlet Arcade, not streaming it to YouTube, but streaming it to Omlet Arcade. Once we hit about 120 nautical miles out, we're going to start our descent into Charleston. Um, Not sure how the airport looks though. It might be, I mean, it's right there on the coast. If I would have came in from the coastal side, it might would have been a. But I don't know if there's a. I don't know how the approach is going to look when I get started. Like I said, I've been to Charleston. Uh, and there is some water there. I've never been to their airport, so we're going to see how this approach looks. Do have some turbulence, so I cut the seatbelts back on, but I don't think I'll have any crosswind issues or anything when I get down to the ground. I know this has nothing to do with this video, but yesterday, you watch random things on YouTube, and I came across this video of Arsenal players, the football team, and in England or wherever they are. I think they're in England. They're, they have the Fly Emirates across their jerseys, and they were doing a flight sim, a real life flight sim at the I guess the Emirates headquarters. It was pretty cool to watch. Some players that some landings were actually pretty good, and some were awful. But it's a good watch. All right, so we're about to start our descent into Charleston right now. I think we're so. We're about to start our descent into Charleston. So we're going to go set the altitude down to 12,000 feet, and we're going to descend at about 1,400 feet a second. Or a minute. Damn it. Our vertical speed here. And we're going to slow it down to 300 knots. Got those spoilers on, and I usually cut the flaps down to 2 degrees. 1 degree, as a matter of fact. We're just going to cut it to 1. Just to help the plane slow down. Airport is this? Damn it. Oh, Augusta. So we are right on the border on the border of South Carolina and Georgia. Augusta's like that. They have a North Augusta, South Carolina, but this is Augusta where they have like Augusta National and all that crap. Yeah, so we're right there on the South Carolina border. So we're 97 nautical miles out. Still going pretty fast. To be honest. We should be there in no time. I just noticed that I took off my ETA off my little status bar down here, but I didn't even notice until right then. But I've been doing pretty good without it. So I actually have stuff up here that I need. Fuel, I need that. Altitude, I don't really need, but when I'm in different camera views, I think I need it. Airspeed, like I said, different camera views, I need it. Yoke, I think that is, unless you're a real expert at this, you need it. Bearing to next, need it. Especially when you're in different camera views, and distance is the most important to me. It is the most important out of all of them. Load is pretty important too to me. So, because if you look at your percentages of the load, you know how fast or how slow you need to be going at some points and what speed you need to land at. It really helps knowing the load percentage that you have. I need to change it to 1,000 feet because going down pretty fast. I'm gonna go for that tailwind still pushing us along pretty good. And you see, the runways are not that big, so you won't have any big planes like a 747 or something crazy coming. And airport altitude's pretty low too. You'll see once as I continue this series, you're gonna see when I get to places like Denver, I always misguided. So, you know how Denver has that funky, they're about 5,000 feet in the air. I always, I'm too low. I think that's the ocean out there. I think that. See those flaps come down slightly. I'm so confident in myself. I really feel like I know there's G forces and all that stuff, but I feel like if it came down to in person, if there was some kind of emergency, because I do use Flight Simulator X Plane, and Max Graphics. I do use those on PC. I really felt like if it came down to it, I could land one of these things, man. Like I really feel it. I'm telling you. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way that do these sims. I mean, if there was nobody on board that knew how to fly a plane, I'm sure that they would have to step up. Even though I'm sure ATC or somebody, if you talk to them, they could guide you through it. But if it did come down to that, those would be the guys that would have to do it. I honestly feel that way. Uh, Probably not an infinite flight guy, but like a FSX guy could really do it, because I mean they know the switches. If they do it in that mode, they know the switches. They know, you know, how to read the headings, how to set headings, how to read the charts and maps and gauges and all that stuff. I mean, they know that stuff, so it would not surprise me if there's probably a story out there right now anyway that I haven't even heard of guys doing that, of guys picking their uh, guys flying these planes, saving people. There might be a thing where there's pilots on every flight or something like that. I'm not sure if that's a myth or not, but I mean, I really think if it came to it, somebody already has done that, in their time, in our time, It's just really, really cool, because I feel like flight sim guys are their own kind of community. If you come across people that don't know how to fly at all, and they watch you play a sim, I mean, I'm a witness. I'm a not a witness, but I mean, I guess you could say that. But I am a guy that people came across. They're like, dang, man, you do this sim. I let people try the infinite flight all the time. I let them try all the time. They're like, man, you really make it look easy. that is something that I really believe is a possibility. You know, I'm not wishing that I would get put in that situation. Definitely not, because that's, gut wrenching. Because I mean, a sim is not a real plane. I also feel like some people don't realize that. You know, but they do. They have the same mechanics, not infinite flight, but you know, X plane or Microsoft X. You know, they have those functions where you can control the entire plane, and it has the real, switches and all that stuff on them. I mean, if you get put in that situation and there's nobody that can do it, why not step up? You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna cut the nav off here. Says we do need to be a lot lower. But once we line up with the runway, I think we'll be okay. I don't see the airport right now. Oh, is that it right there? Yeah. Sure, this right here. Sure, that's it. Turn the airports off, just to be a little more realistic about it. All right, so we are coming up on our waypoint. Once again, I think I miscalculated. I never have this miscalculation problem until I make a video. Like, it makes me feel like a noob. And I always comment on people's videos, and I'm like, hey, you were too high, it was too hard. But it's like every time I do a video, I always mess up. When I'm just flying on my own, I feel like I do pretty good. Uh, we're going to turn on. I'm going to look at that waypoint. Whoa, I do not want to nosedive like that. So that's just a big new mistake by me. I never really make these mistakes. There's the airport right there. I was right about that. Welcome to Charleston, South Carolina, folks. And we might be a little offline with it. Oh no, I think we almost banked that really perfect. And that's like the first time I've ever done that. Banked it off that perfect. But what we really want to do, we want to get this circle. We really want to get the circle lined up with the runway, mainly because that's where our plane is going to end up. It's not going to be straight on unless there was absolutely no wind, which is earthly impossible when you're in the air. Alright, so we got the gear down. Coming in kind of leaning right now. Trim at 25%. Some of us to get lower, but I think we are good. Just on how the way I fly the plane. And in a sec, we're about to disengage autopilot. We're going to calibrate it so we can do so. And autopilot disengaged. All in our hands now.